February 4th, 2023, Kyrie Irving shocks everybody on a Friday afternoon when he requests a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. February 6th, 2023, Kyrie Irving gets traded to the Mavericks for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, 1 first-round and 2 second-round picks. That was quick. I remember seeing the trade and letting my homie know, and he straight up just told me that he didn't believe Kyrie was going to get traded, as the Nets have been playing some fantastic basketball while Kyrie and KD were on the floor together. And since Kyrie came back from suspension, less said about suspension, the better. I was always under the impression of not buying that. Like, hell, even after the vaccine shit from last season, it was very clear that Joe was done with Kyrie, and Kyrie was done with Brooklyn. At this rate, all they're looking for is a reason, and Kyrie gave them one hell of a reason. With that being said, the timing is surprising even for Kyrie standards. I wrote some things down and made a little short list of teams that I would like to see Kyrie on, and everyone was going to talk about the Lakers because of the situation that the Lakers have right now, and the story of LeBron and Kyrie reuniting. But my first choice was Phoenix. My assumption is that even if the Nets don't want to deal with Kyrie anymore for obvious and probably for the right reasons, or tie up max money to a guy with a spidey record of being in the games, or simply having a different reason every single time to why he's not in the games, they have no choice but to be competitive because KD, now was there and is probably watching the situation with question marks over his head. It's not even that long ago when he asked for a trade request, like during the summer. Now, obviously, I made a recent video detailing the KD trade, so you can go watch that. It's probably going to be somewhere on this video. But the reality is this: Joe had to get Sean Marks had to get the best possible deal they can get for Kyrie, and Kyrie, being his unapologetic version of himself, made that 10 times tougher because his contract is up this summer. He can just walk. However, with that being said, Kyrie has little value in a trade because I know a lot of people were surprised, like, wait, Spencer Dinwiddie, that's it? Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and a pick that's like mad years into the future. That's all you get for Kyrie Irving? Yeah, Kyrie has little value because his asking price is high. His current contract is still a lot of money, even if it ends this summer. His availability and his volatility of his demeanor. Like, this is the third team Kyrie has left in some dramatic ass fashion. I know there's more context, but you get the point. My simple assumption is Phoenix can come in and simply say, hey, we have Chris Paul, we have Jay Crowder, and let's work something out for Kyrie. Markieff Morris also got moved, so I'm not forgetting that. I assume if the Suns want to extend the championship window, they might go for Kyrie and have a creative shot creator on par with Devin Booker that is younger and cheaper than CP3. I never thought a package of Westbrook, a pick, Austin Reeves, and a partridge in a pear tree would do the deal, simply because if you're trying to win now, a lineup of Westbrook, Claxton, and Simmons all in the same lineup is essentially having the Nets serve more bricks than BMF. Dallas was always there because, like the Lakers, the Mavs are desperate, like really, really desperate. Luka is playing MVP level basketball, and he may have been able to wheel and deal the Mavs into a Western Conference Finals appearance the previous year, but that's not gonna slide this year. The West is a wild place, and there's no coasting in any route. Shit, only 2 teams West have written off this season. Everyone else believes that they can make a playoff push. Luka is playing, and like I said, Luka is playing arguably the best season of his career so far, of his young career. So much of that season, and so much of that season were to end today, if it wasn't for a 7-foot Pillsbury Doughboy with the passing of Steve Nash and Magic Johnson combined, going for his 3rd MVP in a row, Luka might have the MVP in the bag. What's helping and hurting this case is that he's literally has to do everything for offensively for the Dallas Mavericks. His second best option was Christian Wood for both points and usage rating, who, for reasons I'm not going to begin to explain, is averaging only 27 minutes a game and is not starting. In terms of minutes, his second best player was Spencer Dinwiddie. After Wood and Dinwiddie both averaging about 18, it drops off pretty fast. Like, the next best option is Tim Hardaway Jr., who's averaging 14. And that 18 sounds sweet and all when you realize Luka Doncic is averaging 33 points a game on like damn near 40% usage rating. That man has the ball in his hands damn near all the time, and he needs to, and his team falls off a fucking cliff when he's not there. So Luka has to be the point of attack at all three levels because he's the best player on all three levels of offense. What's funnier, or just more sadistic, is that they technically had this player that could have paired next to Luka, and they wouldn't have to really put themselves in the Kyrie roller coaster. I can't even call it sweepstakes, more of a roller coaster. Jalen Brunson could have been extended for 4 years, $55 million at the start of last season, but the Mavs didn't fully believe in his development. He had a career. What did Jalen Brunson go on to do? He had a career year in the regular season and especially in the playoffs, and now for obvious and correct reasons, he didn't want to sign a low team-friendly deal. The Knicks offered damn near double the money, and the Mavs didn't want to match it. And right now, he flirted with an all-star appearance. He might be the best player on his team, and the Knicks are comfortably back in the playoff contention. And I would say right now, Jalen Brunson has like a top 5 contract in the NBA per money and skill level. You know, he's just entering his prime, and you know, many other players who I don't know if they're maybe just as good or not as good as him are going to make more money. So I'm just saying, the Knicks won that. Even Kristaps Porzingis, for coaching decisions, in-game decision-making, and injuries, it didn't work out well in Dallas. But right now is having the best season since his All-Star year, averaging pretty much the same stats he did from his All-Star year in like 2018. What makes that worse is that Dallas gave up a 2021 and a 2023 pick for Porzingis, along with a 2029 pick for Kyrie. Yes, Kyrie is a risk, and like in all senses of the word, he's a risk. His views and stances were the last straw for a team that was up to the point where he asked for a trade, playing amazing basketball. Regardless of that, and like, just even harp on that further, you have to think, like, they're playing some of the best basketball and probably could have made a comfortable push for the finals in the East. And Nets ownership, Nets front office were like, thank God you asked for this trade. Like, get the fuck. Anyways, but I can say all that, but I can also say if there's one player in the NBA that's worth all the gamble, it's Kyrie. The obvious is a near 30-point a game scorer is now alongside Luka, something Luka has never had before, and it means he doesn't need to have the ball 24/7 for his team to just function on offense. Luka has never played with a player that can comfortably control offense on his own when he sits. Most of the teams that Kyrie has played on have been fantastic offensive teams, and it's usually because he's the best or second best offensive player. They can run the same plays with Luka on the bench, and okay, obviously not gonna be as good, but it's much better having Kyrie run those sets than like Jalen Brunson or Spencer Dinwiddie. You feel me? Also, Kyrie in transition is a lot faster. Like, Kyrie does pick up the pace way more than Luka does, and Kyrie freeing himself to get open without the ball and getting a screen or shooting off of one dribble or getting a pass from Luka, where he's making 45% of his threes when he's open. Offensively, this is an upgrade. Like, in every sense, this is an upgrade. Yeah, I can point out that Luka never really playing off ball before, and you could argue that he doesn't really have the conditioning to do that right now. But Kyrie has. I should point out, Kyrie has. He's played with LeBron and KD. He's used to this, and I think as the games progress, they'll find a healthy balance. Like, they're two very good offensive basketball players. They'll figure it out. It's just that right now it's just them taking turns late in games on who's going off on who. Also, because of the two players that create so much gravity on the court, it opens up even more for guys like Reggie Bullock, Dwight Powell, Tim Hardaway Jr., Christian Wood, and Josh Green, who I think will be an underrated X factor for this team, because, you know, he can provide some, I would say about 80% of the things that Dorian Finney-Smith was doing for them on offense and on defense. Luka could become an even better playmaker, commanding more doubles earlier in the post, which he's been dominating all year for a guard. And this time he's passing to Kyrie, who can shrink the floor even more. So someone like one of their shooters or one of those athletes that can run to the basket, they're going to get open. And so this offense, I feel like in the second half of the season, we're going to see a lot more potency of it. If at bare minimum, we're going to see a lot of it in spurts. Now the negative. Like I said, in some games, whether you're not knowing what to do or just being gassed, Luka just stands there and he's not really doing much. This is one of those things where an off season between the two would be good to make plays and get sets that work for them. If Jason Kidd's the coach for that, more power to him. Also, obviously, the defense. They were a below average defensive team before Kyrie. They're not completely awful, and obviously they're missing perimeter defenders who are fast enough on their feet, and they're missing a big presence in the rim protection. Yes, Maxi Kleber should be coming back soon, and that opens up everything for their defense a little, but obviously he's not like, is he like a top 10 rim protector in the NBA? I don't know. I don't think he is. Maybe he is, but I don't really think of Maxi Kleber like that. They have guys like Bullock and Green on the perimeter, and you have Dwight Powell that can work as like a switchable, can guard a big, can sometimes guard a forward. But like I said, nothing that's like so sure. Like, I don't think any of those perimeter defenders I just named are as good as like Dorian Finney-Smith on defense for the perimeter. Because Dorian did so much for Luka, guarding like Luka's biggest assignments. Like biggest offensive assignments, I mean. Basically, they're here to outscore teams. That's all they're trying to do. Jason Kidd even said it as such. They're here to outscore teams. But can a team with a bottom 10 defense generate enough points to push to at least a Western Conference Finals or a Finals run? And that's where I see the ceiling for this team, just because of how good Luka has been this season. Well, they're going to both need to be out there, and that's where some more trouble comes. Kyrie Irving, for all the good he can bring to a team, just take a guess, he's usually out. And take a guess, you're going to be finding more and more reasons why he's out, whether it's injury, suspension, sitting out, simply not letting anyone know. He missed 74% of Brooklyn's games, and for the Mavs to have any chance in the playoffs, that can't happen. The real problem is also the offseason, where Kyrie's an unrestricted free agent, and it was clear that the Lakers were pursuing him hard, and Kyrie is going to want a big payday. Now, with everything that surrounds Kyrie, I'm not too sure what team gives him that, and I don't even know if he is going to get that. Maybe that's another video for another day. I don't know if I'm really going to make it, but it's a conversation at least. And also, will a team want to go into the luxury tax, especially a team like Dallas? Will they want to go into the luxury tax with little avenues to make the team better after, and not having any real picks or players to facilitate trades for Kyrie? The crazy thing is that they don't have a choice anymore. If not to show Luka that they are committed to putting the best possible team out there for someone who's ready to make a finals run now. This can be an amazing time for Dallas basketball, or it's going to be misery. And in which the most miserable thing of us all, it could strike the beginning of the end of Luka's departure from Dallas. I don't want that. I would love to see Luka stay in Dallas for as long as possible, but Kyrie could be the last straw. It can either be amazement or misery for the Mavericks, and Kyrie is the main driver of those ambitions. If the Nets could tell you anything, good luck. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. I've seen I got some new subscribers. It's like 3. Thanks for that. I really appreciate it. And the videos have been doing relatively well, and I got some more on the way. So appreciate y'all. Take it easy.